Hey Nadira, how are you doing today?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Um, I know last session we were discussing your friend, and you taking more time for yourself. So how has that been since the last time we communicated?
Well, in a way, I don't think it went very.
Always.
Well, I didn't stick to my grounds, and she texted me trying to invite herself over for New Year's and Christmas to my house, and I don't think I was firm enough, not
Hmm.
firm enough with her.
Okay. And why do you believe you weren't firm enough?
Because I don't like to be rude.
Hmm.
My husband is very firm with everybody, and I'm not. I'm known to be a sweetheart, so I think I am afraid to lose this title of being a sweetheart,
Hmm. Okay.
as if
So,
it's a badge that I've earned.
so what I'm hearing is that your friend, she irritates you. She's been upsetting you for some time now, and she gives you negative energy, and you don't want to be a part of it anymore. But you're unable to stick your ground and do things to make you happy, as far as ignoring her because you don't want to lose your image as a sweetheart. But
Mm, yeah, well, in a way, yes, and uh, in a way, I don't want to. I feel bad for her because I think I have a lot of empathy for people, and that's not
mhm,
right. And I feel bad for her because she doesn't have a mother, she doesn't have a father, she lost her sister. So in a way, she thinks of me as like the only person she has in the world.
mhm.
And I get that, but also boundaries. I need to put boundaries. It cannot be like this.
I agree with that because you stated that um, you no longer wanted a relationship with her, but you continue to make yourself feel bad because she doesn't have anyone, which is understandable. But how is this taking care of you? Like, what stress will this cause you if you continue to be her friend?
Well, it is causing me a lot of stress because now I'm worried that she's actually going to show up for Christmas and New Year's. And I told her that our kids are coming and that we might not have place in the house. And
Hmm.
she now is questioning. She's actually asked me for my kids' phone number because she wants to actually call my kids and see if really my kids are coming, as if she didn't believe me that my
Mm.
kids were coming.
So, what was your response for that? Your
I said,
response.
my kids are coming. Now,
Hmm.
I don't know if my kids are going to come, but my kids promised me that they're going to come.
Hmm.
But as any kids, kids prefer to spend New Year's with their friends, not with their
Hmm.
parents. So my kids might not come for New Year's. They might come for Christmas, but they might not come for New Year's.
Hmm.
So, but anyway, it's none of her business if my kids are coming or not. The problem
Hmm.
is I don't want her to come,
Hmm.
but I can't find it to tell her that.
So I wonder what would happen if you tell her the truth and have a conversation with her about how you feel.
I don't know if I can tell her that. Like, I don't know if I can tell her, like, like it's to have somebody in your house for like, 10, 15 days. That's a lot.
That's a long time.
You know, you can have somebody for 2 days, three
Hmm.
days. That's okay. But
Hmm.
like for 15 days, and her husband is an older gentleman that requires, some help.
Hmm.
So I don't impose on anybody. I don't understand how people just can impose on people like that
Hmm.
because I never do.
Hmm. So, do you want to continue this friendship with her, or do you? Like, you want to set boundaries and continue a friendship, or do you want to just cut it all off?
Well, I think also because we have a long distance relationship. So she lives in Tahiti, which is like close to Australia, like it's very
Mhm.
far. And I travel a lot. So anywhere, anytime, and she knows that I hate to talk on the phone. Like I
Mhm.
hate to talk on the phone. I don't like talking on the phone. I don't like texting. I don't like messaging. I'm one of
Mhm.
those people that really like only uses the phone if I have to.
Mhm.
And she knows that. And a
Mhm.
lot of people that know me knows that. So for me,
Mhm.
it's a struggle. Speaking on the phone is a real effort. So
Mhm.
because of that, so she makes the effort to come and see me where I am. And because she lives so far, it's not like she lives in a place where you can meet her halfway.
Mhm.
I mean, in order to go where she lives in Bora Bora, you have to like leave planet Earth to go there, and it's just so far.
Mhm.
So, and it's an island in the middle of nowhere,
Mhm.
and so the odds of me going there are like none, like null. But the odds of her meeting me in California or meeting me in Europe are better.
Mhm.
So therefore, she just tracks where we are and
Mhm.
then invites herself where we are.
Mhm.
And sometimes if we're staying in a hotel, it's a little bit easier because then she's gonna have to have her room and I and my husband have my room, and then we can meet for lunch and dinner. But if we are home, then she wants to come and stay with us. Now here is the problem.
Mhm.
That causes the problem. So again, I have to put boundaries, but I guess I have to be more assertive, you know, and not care if I hurt people's feelings or something. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know.
So.
And besides, me and my husband talk about it, and he
Mhm.
knows that it annoys me. But he also is a very good friend of her husband, so he loves her husband. So what does he do? He chickens out instead of him saying also sticking with me. And no, he just says, "Oh, well, are you coming for Christmas?" It's like, hello, didn't you get the memo? It's
Mhm.
like, yeah, 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 but so he's not helping either.
Mhm. So, what do you feel like would happen if she did come down and visit?
Oh my God, if she comes down, I mean, she she doesn't cook, she doesn't help, she won't even lift a finger,
Mhm.
and you even have to do her own laundry. I mean, this is high maintenance. We're talking about somebody who's like high maintenance. And seriously, like I, I travel so much that we are so exhausted that
Mhm.
if we are going to stay somewhere for 10 days, 15 days, I really don't want to, serve somebody and
Mhm.
just cook lunch and breakfast and dinner. I mean, it's a nightmare. I mean, if she was the kind of person who would help, no, and then she expects to be entertained, and you have to take her out, and she has to do her gym, and she has to do her this, and she has to do her that, you know, if she was a low key and she would help, then that would be no problem. But she's so demanding and she's so high maintenance that it makes it impossible.
Mhm. So,
You know,
how will it turn out though if you continue to ignore her from here into New Year's? Do you think she would
well,
show up?
what she's gonna do is that we have a friend, a mutual friend that lives not too far away from us, from where we're gonna be. So, well, he lives like an hour away,
Mhm.
but still. So she's gonna go and stay with them first, and I think she's gonna keep on testing the ground while she's at their house. So she's
Mhm.
gonna keep on calling when she shows there. So are your kids here? Are your kids here? And if the kids don't show up, then she's just gonna show up.
Mhm. So it appears to me as if you continue to avoid the conversation with your friend. Um, you're not helping yourself at all.
No, I'm gonna cause myself I'm gonna like drive myself to like a nervous breakdown during this this New Year's, the end of
Mhm.
this year. That's gonna be like, I can't deal with it. Not this year. We really had a tough. My mother-in-law died this year,
Mhm.
and it was really tough here. And I was very close to her, so I was the one who did everything between the funeral and everything. I mean, it was really very hard on me. She's like the mother I never had. And then our lifestyle is that this living on a plains is just not easy. And on top of it, the only 10, 15 days that we get to be somewhere where we really want to relax, that's for us to just cater to somebody. uh, that's going to be a disaster.
Okay. So, what do you think would be a great outcome for you? Like, what do you
Well,
think you
I,
should do
I
next?
think I should just give her a call and tell her, look, you're not the easiest person to deal with. I love you very
Mhm.
much, but you're not.
Mhm.
And because of that, I can't expect you to change and become, somebody who will help because you don't even know how to do it. But I would rather you stay in a hotel if you're gonna come,
Mhm.
and then I can see you in between.
Okay.
But I don't have to deal with you when I wake up and then noon. I mean, maybe she's gonna get mad and not be my friend anymore, but then whatever. What do you want me to do? I seriously cannot deal with it this year. Like, I really cannot. And then if my daughter shows up with her fiance, and they've been together for 10 years, but they're not married. So we're not very happy about that. So we want
Mhm.
them to get married already. So, you know, my husband, he confronts her every time he comes. So it's like a family thing. And I don't want her to be in the middle of this. And I can't make my husband not say anything. For him,
Mhm.
my daughter's been living with this guy for 10 years. It's time for her to get married.
Mhm.
So
So it sounds like you don't want her around for multiple reasons, such as family and, discussions, and the fact that you finally have time off and you don't want to cater to anyone as you state, and you just want to relax, correct?
yes.
Okay. And you are stating that you are capable of having a conversation with her to let her know that um, she is difficult to spend time with at times, and that you would prefer her to stay in a hotel while she comes to you.
Yes.
Okay. Um, well, is there anything else you would like to discuss?
um well, yeah, the other thing she doesn't like is she doesn't like kids. And
Um,
I love kids. And I have my friend who adopted 6 kids. Here they are.
mhm.
Look at them. They're so cute. And I like to have and I like to have those kids over, and she doesn't like kids, and I love babies.
Yeah. So it sounds like the conversation really needs to occur because there are multiple factors that tie into what upsets you about her.
Yeah, I guess you can't be friends with somebody just because you feel sorry for them, but you really don't have much common with them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have much common. Like, she thinks she's a princess. Crying out loud. She
Mm-hmm.
thinks what's the name of this, Sindbad or something.
Okay. Okay. Well, our time is up here, and for your assignment for the next time we meet up is for you to have the conversation with your friend. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So well, now we can switch roles, and I can be the client, and you can be the therapist.
Okay. Yes?
Mhm.
Oh, hello, Carla. Thank you for coming today.
Hello, how are you doing?
So, what have you done since the last time we spoke? You were supposed to attempt to reconciliate things between your family members, especially your mother and your sister. So, can you fill me in on what happened in between?
I didn't call my mom. I didn't text her. I didn't reach out to her. And my sister, Shambrea, I text her about coming down here in November because we're going to do a welcome home party for my brother. But she never replied. Well, she did reply. I didn't like her reply. So I just ignored her and said, forget it, because she irritated me. And I know it would really bothered me because I complained about her all weekend to my boyfriend, and he pretty much called me out on it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I am upset with her, and I didn't express that to her why I was upset, because I feel like it doesn't solve anything.
So, how do you think this thing can unfold itself if you're not willing to confront it?
It can't. um, I don't know. I think if I just need space, which I'm learning about myself, if I give myself space from people, even if it's like 5 minutes or a day or two, I do better with thinking about the situation before expressing how I feel in a positive way. So maybe that's what I'm doing, but I just feel like with her, it won't work. Nothing I say to her, unless I'm like worshiping her, she's willing to listen to. If I'm saying, oh, this bothers me about you, then she thinks I'm trying to start an argument. So
It seems like the line of communication between both of you is very blurry.
it
And
is.
things like, yeah, you're speaking English and she's speaking Chinese.
Yes. And it's
It
like,
seems,
I'm sorry.
it seems that there's a lot of misinterpretation.
Yeah, it is. And I try to be, I think I'm trying to be more understanding towards her. Um, but I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like she's immature, and I just prefer not, I don't know, engaging in a conversation, or I don't know, talking about anything serious with her, because then it might result in an argument. And I don't like arguing with people, especially her, 'cause she makes me want to become violent. And I can't do that. I can't attack my sister. So I just avoid her when I'm irritated with her.
So, how would um, a good relationship with your sister look like, if you can imagine it, with your sister or with your mother for that matter?
With my mom, I would start with that. We would communicate more. Um, she would talk to me and reach me other than occasions when she needs money, or if she wants to be manipulative. I guess on my end, I would be more understanding. I guess my expectations for her is to treat me how she used to treat me when I was younger. Um, I feel like right now she's a little envious of where I am, and I think she feels like she didn't help me get to where I am, because a lot of people say I'm successful. Um, so I think my expectation of her is to not be violent, and to avoid lashing out, and to avoid saying disrespectful things to me because her feelings are hurt. And I think she should be open to hearing what I have to say. I feel like on my part, I am understanding of that, but as of right now, I can't do it anymore because it tears me down, and I don't like that. um, it makes me feel really bad. My expectations for my sister are that we don't compete with each other. Um, I would like for her to um, support me with my successes because she doesn't at all. Um, I would like for us to have more serious conversations. I would like for us to speak more because growing up, she was my best friend and I was hers. And then last year, she told me that she doesn't even consider me as a friend because I'm mean to her. And I'm like, we're mean to each other. And I'm mean to you because I'm tired of the low blows you hit with me. Um, and I've tried having a conversation with both her and my mom. My mom plays the victim role, and my sister is just like, whatever, you're an asshole, which I can be at times. And I feel like she plays the victim role too. So then I'm like, forget it, whatever. And then I say I'm okay with the relationship we have, but I'm really not. So I guess, I don't know, did that make sense of my expectations in order to have a better relationship?
Well, I think expectation is something, but I think the most important part um is the interpretations, because I would
Mm-hmm.
think there's facts,
Mm-hmm.
there's what actually happened,
Mm-hmm.
and there's our interpretation of what actually happened,
Mm-hmm.
and the story we tell about what actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's the story, which is just the story, which is
Mm-hmm.
actually the fact, not the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the story we attach to what happened. And I think sometimes when our problem is not with what actually happened, but the story that we made about what happened. I don't know if I'm making sense. And then
Yeah, you are.
with that, we have a problem when we struggle with letting go of the story we told ourselves about it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the facts are facts. What happened has happened, but what we build up on it is the problem, not what actually happened.
Okay.
Yeah, you understand? So, for example, let's say, uh, you're in a relationship, and let's say this guy goes and cheat on you. But the fact
Mm-hmm.
that happened is that the guy cheated on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fact. But now, if you go and you make interpretation in your head about what it meant that he cheated on you, for example, oh, I'm not worthy, oh, I'm not good enough,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I didn't know how to keep a man, oh, I'm fat, oh, whatever, all the O's that you, so this is the interpretation of what happened, the story
Mm-hmm.
that you attach to this event, which has nothing to do with the event.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if you look at it, it's maybe your mother didn't call you for 3 weeks, and then she called you and asked for money, and now you're making the story in your head that, oh, see, she only calls when that is because she doesn't care for me, because well, she didn't do that, she didn't say that, she didn't, all she did is not call.
Mm-hmm.
But then the story that you've attached to the fact that she's not called is what you're struggling with,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Right.
So some, I don't know if it makes sense, but sometimes you have to detach that fact from the story.
Mm-hmm.
And once you do that, I found in my experience, once I do that, then you deal with um, what they call in English, it is what it is. Don't make it bigger, don't make it smaller, don't don't add whipped cream on it, don't sugarcoat it. It is what it is. She just didn't call. That's what it was. Doesn't mean she doesn't love me, doesn't mean she doesn't care for me, doesn't care, doesn't mean any of that. That's all your interpretation. She has nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're acting accordingly You're acting according to your interpretation of just a fact that happened.
Mhm.
So you can give you a very simple example. Somebody gives you a flower, and you know how girls we are. Somebody gives us a flower. Oh my God, he wants to marry me. He wants to love me. He wants to. I'm gonna have his kids. We go with this, and we build all these things in our head. The guy just gave you a flower. Doesn't mean more. Doesn't mean less. What
Mhm.
happened is that he gave you a flower. That's it.
Mhm.
You know, our problem is we do these interpretations, and then we live by them, and we try to explain them, and so that's what I think. I don't know if that helps.
It helps a lot. It makes a lot of sense. That makes it more easier for me to be willing to reach out and call. But I think what makes it hard is that it happens often. There's like a lot of stuff. I'm like, I know. Right now, I'm just focusing on my self care, um, and I don't, because I'm an emotional person. I don't want anything to tear me down and put me back into misery. So I think right now I should not focus on two relationships. Maybe I'll focus on my relationship with my sister first because we have a better relationship. Um, and I think a lot of it is I just need to accept for who she is, which for the most part I've done that. And I just need to get over the fact that sometimes she just won't support me. I don't need support, I guess, from her. It would be nice to have it, but I'm going to continue to be successful regardless if she supports me or not. Um, I think if I did that, then maybe I don't know. I feel like maybe I just need to be the bigger person, and like you said, it is what it is, and put the past behind me, and just move forward with life, and just come to the exception that my sister is not me. She doesn't handle situations like I will, and that's okay. Um, and until she is ready to talk about the past and move forward, then I don't have to talk about it. But I feel like that's me settling. I don't know. In order for me to move forward, I want to analyze, not in great detail, but talk about little things so we can avoid making the same mistakes in the future and then moving forward. But at the same time, I know having the conversation with my sister will be very draining, and I feel like at this point in her life, it won't solve anything because she's immature, or she may feel like I'm attacking her. And I don't know how to talk to her without making her feel like I'm not attacking her. Even if I state I'm not attacking you, she would still feel like I'm attacking her. So
Well,
because I'm
because I think you're at a different level in your lives, at a
mm-hmm,
different level of growth in your life. You are enrolled in a therapy program. You are much more involved in self-discovery and self-growth and all that. Well, she's not. So when you go into such a journey, you have to always remember you're the one who's changing, but the people that are around you are still stagnant where you are. So you
mm-hmm,
can't change and expect that they're changing with you. They're not. So they are where they are. And because they are where they are, you have to stop knocking at doors where you're always going to get the same answer.
mm-hmm,
So maybe it is that you're going to have to take the high road, but you have to be able to understand yourself and to understand her. And maybe at this time or at this point in your life, the work has to be done on yourself first before you're able to encompass her and her problems and her issues. Maybe
mm-hmm,
at this time you're not ready for that.
mm-hmm. I can agree with that because I do work on myself daily, and a lot of times I do take the mature route, but sometimes I don't like it because it backfires. But overall, I'm like, okay, like I feel better. I took it. I will continue to work on myself, and the fact that I can't, I don't know, I don't know. Um, yeah, I will continue to work on myself and try to be more forgiving. That's what I would do. And
So
then
I
maybe,
think for our next session, that's what has to happen, is that concentrate maybe more on yourself and see how it works. That doesn't mean that you don't have to talk to her, but in a way, the work has to be done there first.
okay, I can work on that.
All right. Anything else on your mind before we hang up today?
No, thank you. No,
I hope I was helpful.
you are.
All right. Well, good night, and we'll talk next week.
Okay.